Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you are curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome, everyone. I'm Chatty. This is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away, not madly today because I'm a bit drained, but I'm going to be chatting, and that's kind of what this is. It's another kind of, I'm calling them life under the hat, kind of just a sort of a rough catch up of kind of where I'm at, mainly with my reading. But I also kind of need to catch you up with a couple of things. So without going into it too much, I've just had a bit of a blip with my mental health. I felt a little bit overwhelmed by everything I was doing in life, and kind of anxiety kind of kicked in. And my really lovely gran died. It was not unexpected. And we were lucky enough to be able to be there with her, and it was peaceful. So I've kind of been used to like being like trying to take it all in my stride, like it's all fine, and not completely fully allowing myself to grieve. So I'm trying to give myself that sort of grace. So because of all of that, basically, I'm pushing Journeyathon back, or possibly not doing it. I still would like to do Journeyathon because I love Journeyathon. It's an amazing creative outlet for me. I get to talk about middle grade. So I don't want to not do it, because it's a lot of joy. There's a lot of joy involved. I have a lot of fun with it. I love being able to share this and this love of middle grade and have this space to be able to talk about amazing middle grade books and just have some fun making our own journey around magical places. So I do want to keep doing it. And also I've got some amazing, this year's inspiration books are amazing. They are, I'm so excited to be able to share them with you. So I don't want to like just drop it completely. So I'm hoping, but I don't want to like promise because, you know, it's like, I don't want to like set myself up for failure. So tentatively September. We're going for a tentative September for Journeyathon because I feel by then that's enough time, and September feels like a fresh start because it's the start of the school year here. My children will then go back to school, which kind of puts me in a routine. So I feel I've got space and kind of can be aware of marking out time to do things like live sprints and stuff like that. And I can put all of my energy into it and have a wonderful time. Whereas obviously July is kind of knocking at the door and I'm not in the right space to be doing that sort of thing right now. So I'm being sensible and letting things go, and it's okay. So yeah, I'm finding my mental health a bit strange. So I find chatting to the camera is actually quite therapeutic. So if it's a bit too much for you, if you're just like, just be here for books, sorry, this is not that kind of video. I'm just generally having a chit chat. So go and look somewhere else. But for me, this feels comfortable and comforting, as I kind of just splurge my thoughts. Because I feel very lucky that I'm able to reach out to family and friends, and I've been able to reach out to some people I've been chatting to on BookTube, so bookish friends, and also my work are incredibly supportive, like dealing with people's emotions, and kind of it is kind of like bread and butter of sort of like what we do there. So everyone's very good at like checking in and looking after each other. But because this feels like a minor wobble to kind of where I've been in the past, I find it quite hard to gauge where I'm at. So I'm like, in terms of like depression, there's very few kind of like, I'm not any kind of sense of like guilt I'm giving myself or any kind of like self-deprecation. I'm able to like nip it and catch it, and not let myself go down there. But it's definitely much more an anxiety flare up than anything. That kind of rabbit in headlights freeze, like there's so many plates and they're all going to come crashing down. Which ones do I start catching first? That kind of sensation. Obviously it has improved a lot, but it because it felt mild compared to previously, I found it harder to go, how ill am I, in terms of like medical support and that kind of thing. So it's been harder to give myself the advice I'd give other people. So I'm trying to do that and trying to just not know what the word is, like not trying to compare myself to other situations and other places, and just go, this is just about me and what I need to function. I think MJ has like an amazing like leading out note. I don't know what you kind of call that, like your outro, like a little thought of the day that she leaves you with, and it's always like, be kind, take care of yourself so you can take care of others. And I think that is very true. So any kind of like, but my life's not that bad, I shouldn't be worrying about this, I need to just park all of those, just park them all and go, I just need to get myself back, and then I can carry on with everything else. So trying to do all of that. So yeah, just plodding along, doing a bit of getting stuff done and a bit of kind of hibernating and doing what I need to do. So it's like, there are places where I'm very comfortable to be kind of out in the open that I'm having a bit of trouble with anxiety. And then there's places where it's like, I just want to put my everything's fine normal face on so I can function and deal with stuff that needs to be dealt with. So it's getting that balance right, because I had forgotten how exhausting it can feel to try and act like it's fine when you're not feeling fine. So getting that balance right, and I think I'm definitely going in the right direction, feeling a lot more positive about stuff, but definitely dropping Journeyathon for now is the right thing for me to be doing. But I do still want to be, you know, some people, they might want to drop booktube completely, which is absolutely, you know, you've got to do what works for you. For me, I don't want to drop booktube completely, because I've got books I want to talk to you about, and then I'm just going to see all these books, and for me, I'm going to be like, but it's really unfair on the books and I don't talk about these books, and I like this as my book diary. And actually this is quite nice. It's quite nice. I've got a cup of tea, I'm just having a chat, it's quite relaxing, it's fun. I'd much rather do this than, you know, try and deal with my list of chores and talk to people on the phone about all those lists of chores, or like, you know, the stress of having to get organized, get out, be out, organize the timings of other things. Like, those are my stress areas. This is just nice and cozy. So obviously it has kind of affected slightly what I'm going to be reading, because I'm in this hibernating. I'm just holding this tea, I'm not drinking it. I need to actually drink some. So if you have a beverage, join me in a nice swig. It's good tea. I'm enjoying my tea. It's just regular tea, just your everyday common or garden tea. Okay, so brain. So there's certain books that I was really excited for, really enthusiastic for, certain projects that I'm now like, I just can't right now with them. I just need to stop them, and that's all my non-fiction. So I've got the wonderful They, He, She, which I'm really enjoying. I haven't picked it up in June. I did read a good section of this in May, and then I kind of wanted to put it down because I wanted to kind of clear other books, and I wanted to like really enjoy this and not rush through it. But I'm gonna have to just put it down still for the moment, because I have to use more brain cells to read non-fiction. Everyone's different. For me, non-fiction I find more challenging, and also like the emotional impact of the things that Shiloh Baylor is exploring and talking through is going to make me feel angry, it's going to make me feel upset, as it should, but I'm not in the right headspace to be working with that right now. So I'm going to read it at the best time for me to enjoy this book. The same with Becoming Magenta, Transgender Teens Speak Out. I have read the first of the 5 different interviews, and I have made a load of notes on that first one, so I've got that ready to go when I start really going through, because this book is one of the banned books that I really want to be like giving its own video and going a lot more in depth to. And again, not in that right place to be doing that right now, so this is going to get parked. I might feel as the month goes on I can read one of the second stories in there and do the thing again, but right now not really. I also want to be reading Gender Games by Juno Dawson, but again, it's not the right time to be dealing with non-fiction. Sadly, I also haven't felt in the mood for Return of the King. Like, I'd got in a really good space with this. I was really enjoying Andy Serkis's narration. And I did a bit of immersion reading, which I don't usually do, but I really wanted to do for like the Houses of Healing and for kind of the reuniting of certain characters in here. But now we're kind of getting slightly more onto crunch time. And I've also been reading another fantasy that has made me go, because that fantasy is also epic and I need all my brain cells for that one. I'm like, even though it's a reread, just need to park you right now for now. And also I don't want to just be listening to it. I want to be listening and reading alongside. So it's not like, usually when I have an audiobook, I can just listen around whenever and it's fine. Whereas I do kind of want to take my time a bit more with this one. So it's finding the right time and space for that. What I have been reading is Oathbringer, and I have finished Oathbringer, which is very exciting. Very excited about that. I will talk about that more in my May/June wrap up. I'm not sure how I'm breaking it all apart at the moment, because there's definitely been like a weird merginess of the May and the June, and I haven't decided how to kind of divide it up. And I think part of that is just because with my anxiety, my decisions kind of disappear a bit more and I become a lot more indecisive. I don't like being indecisive. That kind of like adds into this little spiral. So I'm not going to worry about that for now. No, there we go. But Oathbringer was the epic fantasy that I got to a certain point and I was like, I really just want to read this, which is difficult because this is the book. This is the book. And when I go out anywhere for an extended period of time, I like to make sure I have a book with me. I didn't really have any other, I had some other books that I was reading, but I was like, the problem is I know if I pick that book up and start reading it, I'm going to be going, I want to be reading Oathbringer. So I had to bring this massive book out with me, and it's so pretty, and I didn't want to, but I needed to, because that's what my reading needed at that point, which was a massive difficulty. But the book survived. It is all intact. There was no harm done. So that ended up being okay. But this is not a portable book. It's not a portable book, but that's what my brain needed. But we've completed it. It's Oathbringer. My reread of Oathbringer has happened. I'm really excited. I'm probably going to do a whole video about Oathbringer because my May/June wrap-up-y thing is just going to go crazy otherwise. And I have lots of things I want to say, and I think I just need to do a spoilery video about Oathbringer. I'm so excited. I'm so buzzing. I'm very much now into the Stormlight, and I cannot wait to be picking up Rhythm of War. This is the point I needed to reach, and I'm very happy with how it's all turned out. So Oathbringer just kind of consumed me, and I embraced it because we should listen to what we want to read. What else was I going to be mentioning? Was there anything else that was paused? Yes. I've also paused. So I'm doing well with. Come out. So I have also paused Koku Akanabi because of Oathbringer. So I'm enjoying this, and I didn't want to do it a disservice by making myself read this when really my brain was in Oathbringer. Because I'm really enjoying the magic system in here. I'm enjoying kind of the mythology that it's based on. We've just kind of got our three main characters together, and they're going to embark together on the next adventure. And I'm like, I just want to really get to know all of them and how their relationships kind of all merge together. So I need to wait for the right time to continue reading with this, because I want to allow it to do itself justice, rather than me going, so Oathbringer, blah, 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 Stormlight, blah, 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 instead of going interesting middle grade fantasy. So parking that for now until I'm back in that zone. I have picked up Pages & Co. That's a different type of fantasy. That's much more of like a cozy fantasy. So it feels very different from kind of the epic. This is middle grade, but it has epic potential. So it still occupies that kind of space in my head. It makes sense to me. So I started to do that. I am going to be doing a fun little video where I'm trying to pin down my mood. So I've got all these books going on, but I don't want to read them right now because my brain's saying, don't do that to yourself. But there are other books I want to read. But then my brain's going, but which one do you read? Which one do you start? So I've decided to start all 5. So these were from my June TBR and my pile of possibilities. So this is me choosing, I've kind of narrowed it down and selected what I feel like I want to read. and I'm trying to work it out from there. So I'm going to do a video where I look all 5 of these books. So we have, I want to carry on more with my Word is Coming series. One of the series you chose for me to read was the Daevabad trilogy. So that's The City of Brass is the first book by S.A. Chakraborty. So this is a fantasy. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to dive back into another adult fantasy. It's got a very different kind of setting to the Stormlight archive, to Lord of the Rings, to Coco and Kanabi. So it would be another different one, but I'm like, am I ready to embrace that right now? Am I still just floating off Stormlight? Am I going to allow it to do it justice? Do I feel like I just need a palate cleanser in between? But I also do want to be reading my series, so there's something is pulling me towards this, even though it doesn't feel logical. So this is in the mix. Solitaire, Alice Oseman is such a comfort author, but at the same time I know this is dealing with mental health, so it's like, do I want to be reading that right now or not? I don't know. But it's YA, and that kind of faster paced thing might be the kind of snappy book that I need. Typhoon by Kwazia Shiraz is an adult contemporary, I think. This is a book I think is not going to appeal to me, so I thought I'm going to throw it in the mix to kind of like see exactly how correct I am about whether or not this is going to appeal to me. A People's History of Heaven. I am really intrigued by this. Again, it's a very different feeling of a book to a fantasy. So I thought this could definitely work. I've been wanting to pick it up for a long time. Maybe it's its time now. But at the same time, I'm like, is this going to be really, really sad and destroy me? So this one, there's this one. Did I say who it was by? It's A People's History of Heaven, and it is by... No, it's not going to give us the author. Here we go. So it's got really swelly writing on the title and I cannot read it very well. Mathangi Subramanian. And finally I have Mrs. Moore Goes Missing, which is by Marila Śmizkawa, which is the pen name of 2 authors who are Polish. And this is a historical mystery, which feels very different, which is why I feel it could scratch an itch of me just read something completely different to normal as a palate cleanser. So I'm intrigued by all of these. So I don't know which is the one that I want to read. So therefore, I have decided to do a really fun video where I am going to guess from the synopsis which one I feel in the mood for now. I am then going to read the first line and reorder them according to that first line. Which one am I wanting to read more of from that one first line? Then I'm going to do the first paragraph. Then I'm going to do the first chapter. Then I'm going to do 3 chapters. Then I'm actually going to make a decision about what book I'm reading next. But this made me feel really excited, and I thought this felt like a lot of fun. So that's another little project-y thing that I'm doing. I haven't decided if I'm doing that in like a long video or if I'm going to do it in like a shorter video where I kind of just give you photographs of what I've done and just do my voiceover of the books. So I haven't decided yet, but that's keeping me entertained, and I'm enjoying that. Yeah, that's kind of it really. That's kind of where we are. So still reading, still enjoying my books, still enjoying filming and chatting to you about books, but yeah, not sure what's going to be coming out and coming out when, so we'll see. I'm still watching lots of booktube, but I'm not chatting as much, and I'm not chatting as much on Discord, just because I feel I can kind of get lost a little bit in my phone, and I do want to be reading a bit more and being more creative, rather than on a screen, because I feel it's better for me. And I've lost my train of thought. But I am enjoying watching booktube, and what I'm encouraging myself to do is sometimes I hold myself back from watching because I feel that the need to comment is going to take over, and then I end up just not watching booktube when I want to be watching booktube. So I'm just trying to tell myself, look, don't comment, just don't comment. I just leave a little heart, a purple heart emoji in a stack of books to just let you know that I've been there, because I think that's nice. I like doing that. But yeah, I'm going to try and hold back on commenting, because it can just make like a 10-minute video turn into a 45-minute experience, because I need to tell you stuff about your video every 2 minutes. Don't get me with the maths, I know that wasn't quite the same. Anyway, that's the gist of that, and the waffle has gone full reign and I have nothing more coherent to say, so let's wrap this up now. So there we go, that's what we're doing. Hopefully Journeyathon will be coming in September. Feel free to chat if you want to. I will respond at some point. I do like responding. I do like to respond to comments on my videos. But again, I'm not putting pressure on myself to be doing that right now. But thank you very much. If you've watched this, give it a little like, because it just feels nice. And there we are. Cheers. Let's end the video now. Happy reading, everyone.